Ruben Bindu, and our Group Executive Director, Mary, and together with the directors present and scholars. Good afternoon. It is my extreme pleasure to be here today and to be joined also by the leadership team at the foundation. This is a moment that we really celebrate the scholars, and I would like to keep my comments very brief. One, as a beneficiary of this program, I know what it means to have an opportunity to study abroad, to be trusted, to come back and be able to give back to the country. And I think the scholars, all the scholars who are here also give back to the program, to our Wings to Fly program, through their mentorship efforts. And we celebrate them in that they embody what we would wish to see for the country. Bwana Chairman, this is the first group of the Matiang'i A's. Is that correct? Yeah? The ones who are going abroad? Yes, so we celebrate that performance as well. And we would wish to have a few reflections from some students. So I'll call about 4 students, and we'll have a reflection also as well from a mentor. Viola Owiti, you already know that you're supposed to come here, so as you stand, Viola has worked with us at our Wendo branch, and she studied in Moi Girls High School, Eldoret. And she'll share a few reflections, even as she prepares to go to the University of British Columbia in Canada. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. So my name is Viola. I'll be going to University of British Columbia. I'm really grateful to be here. First of all, I'd like to tell you that I joined this program. I started this program as a Wings to Fly scholar back in 2012 when I joined Moi Girls High School, Eldoret. And later on, I joined the ALP program in 2016. I didn't do the Matiang'i one. I'm actually a second-time applicant, and I'd like to tell you that you might be applying, but like for me, the first time I applied, it didn't go well for me. I got a series of rejections, but I didn't stop there. I applied again and was lucky enough to get into University of British Columbia with an MCF scholarship. I'd like to appreciate everyone who is part of my success, because I know I could not have done this alone. I'd also like to tell you to trust in God each and every time, and in whatever you do, just pray. Thank you very much.
What Viola didn't tell you is that she's actually going to study electrical engineering. So another applause for Viola. Next, I'd like to invite Collins. Collins, as you come to the stage. So Collins has also joined the ELP program last year, our internship program. He has been working at Litane branch, and he will be joining the university, Cornell University this fall. Thank you, Collins.
So a very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Just over a year ago, as I was tending to crops on my father's land in Kericho, my sister came to me with my phone. I'd missed 6 calls, 6 important calls from Equity Bank. Having graduated from Litane High School, a top boy, I was kind of anticipating this call. In fact, to me, I think it came kind of late. So I was excited and jumped at this call. We went to Sportsview Hotel Kasarani for the orientation. And this is where I heard about the great opportunities we have of studying abroad. I heard about the avenues we could take through the Equity Leadership Program to study abroad. That's where I heard about ESEP, which became very instrumental in my dream of getting to a college in the United States. It was during this orientation that I managed to research about schools like Cornell, Penn, and suddenly the dreams of that little boy who went to public primary school, the dreams of going to these elite colleges, suddenly these dreams were about to become a reality. I've done a lot over the past few months. I've written tons of emails to many people. I've done practice tests. I've written hundreds of drafts of essays just to make it there. But then, without the support of Equity Group Foundation, without the support of human resources, the likes of Peter, who are there for us, working resiliently, telling us what to do and what not to do, advising us, being there for us, this would not be me speaking here in front of you today. As I plan to head into Cornell University, to prospect in computing and economics, I know that this dream will not be a reality. Why not for Equity Bank? And I hope that all of us, as we head out there, have a dream of conquering, have a dream of going to the depths of any field that we are going into, and later come back and give back to our society. For to whom much is entrusted, much is expected. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Collins. And I like the words that he has said, that he has been able to be given an opportunity to also explore different geographies. The next speaker is actually one who embodies that. He grew up in Marsabit, went and studied in Western, in Butula, has tasted a bit of South Africa through the African Leadership Academy, and is now joined the University of Rochester this fall. So kindly welcome Dokata. Thank you.
Our CEO, the directors, the organizers of the event, and all the staff present, my colleagues, students. Good afternoon. It's a pleasure for me to be here today again. So my name is Dokata Kosi, as you guys have heard. And I was a Wings to Fly beneficiary since 2012. I grew up in the northern part of Kenya, where ethnic tension is a bubbling thing. Many families torn apart because of wars and famine, drought. You know, education is nothing but just a wild dream there. So, but you can imagine I'm still here. After my primary education, so I got an opportunity to join the Wings to Fly. And I knew definitely my parents would not afford, so this was like really a great chance for me. I was just meandering through primary education, specifically because it was free, because the government like made it free. But for my high school, I was sure I'll go back rather like to keep K-12s, all those things. And as I said, luckily I was considered to be Wings to Fly beneficiary, courtesy of Equity Group Foundation. This offered me incredible experience, most importantly supporting me through my high school education at Butula Boys High School. Besides financial support, one thing that stood out for me is the mentorship program. So at Kenyatta University, I got this opportunity to know about the African Leadership Academy in South Africa. This is an institution that aims to develop the next generation of African leaders. So I just recently graduated and came back. I would like to sincerely acknowledge Equity for outstanding effort in helping nurture young leaders and believing in us, specifically from like such a young age. For me, Equity's outlined delivery approach to reach most vulnerable children yet academically gifted has empowered most young leaders, strengthening the resilience of education system in the country, household, and communities. You can imagine of a county like Marsabit, where illiteracy level stands at more than 60%. Equity's approach in such place is fundamental in bridging the gap between school dropout as well as inequalities that has existed for many decades in Kenya, besides more than 5 decades of independence. I not only celebrate I not only celebrate and appreciate this opportunity, but feel responsibility of showing gratitude. I believe it's not enough, but as a scholars, I will encourage all of you guys, let's just embrace, some philanthropy in all the diversity for more inclusive world, equitable world, which we realized through Equity Leadership Program. I believe it's our time to stretch beyond the boundaries, moving out of our comfort zone, just like our mentors and many others who work tirelessly to make this program a success. And I think the bishop talked about, where there's no mission, there is. He talked about the mission, vision, there's no prosperity. So I think instead of, thinking of who want to be rather a doctor or an engineer, all that, it's high time for us to start thinking of what we really want to solve. And there are so many challenges to be solved out there in our communities, across Africa, and even the globe. So this fall, I'll be joining the University of Rochester, and I hope to pursue double major in economics and mathematics. And through my further studies at Rochester, I aspire to embrace my visionary leadership with a strategy for growth and sustainable development, specifically on the continent of Africa. So I'm looking forward to creating more synergies with all of you guys and unfolding more beautiful chapters. Thank you.
Thank you, Dokata. You can see he has a lot of refinement from studying abroad. But when we started the program, we initially had just focused on Ivy League institutions with a bias to the institutions in the US. But we have increasingly sought for opportunities across other countries. Right now, our students attend over 25 countries, over 123 universities. And one such student will be going to Sciences Po in France. And she's actually going to pursue a master's in economics. So kindly welcome on stage, Judy Rose Wamoyo.
Our CEO, directors present, Equity Bank management present, fellow scholars, good afternoon. My name is Judy Rose Wamoyo Njeri. I joined the bank in the year 2011 as a pre-university. And I graduated from the University of Nairobi in December 2016. I studied economics and statistics. And now I'm going to Sciences Po University in France. I'll be studying masters in economics and public policy. And there are several things or factors that have made me want to specialize in this discipline. One of the main reasons why I'll specialize in economics and public policy is because I was born in Nyeri County and brought up in Kiambu County. As we all know, this is a region in central Kenya, which is rich in agriculture and all that. And it is expected that regions that are rich in agriculture should equally have very better facilities because we have the resources. But that is not the case because mainly we don't have people who are able to formulate the right policies that can be able to better the lives of the people who are living in those regions. So I decided to specialize in economics and public policy so that I can be involved in formulating policies that are tailored to meet the needs of the communities in Kenya. And I'm so humbled to get this opportunity. And I want to thank all the people who have believed in me and who have supported me during the application, Equity Group Foundation and MasterCard. And I want to assure you that you're sending the right person to go and represent the country. I know it is not just about me. It's about all the people who have believed in me. It's about bettering the lives of the people of Kenya. It's about empowering other people by improving their economic and social well-being. So thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you, Judy Rose. I like that you believe that we have the right person who will be representing those two counties, and I believe the country as well. During the summer, we usually have students come over and support the larger group in the room, the ones who are practicing and studying to go abroad. And one such scholar has come back. He studies at the University of Pennsylvania. He's doing biomedical engineering. Kwani, you know him? Okay, so give a loud cheer for Andrew Adala as he comes on stage.
All protocol observed. Hello, everyone. Like most students who are going through high school and are performing well, I always wanted to go to the University of Nairobi and study medicine. And so I never used to pay attention when Mr. Kibiro here would come to our school and talk about these opportunities that Equity has, because I felt like they never belonged to me. And all that changed when I joined ELP and met a student called Collins Meto. He goes to Princeton University. He's a rising junior. So my interaction with Collins Meto has really influenced the person that I am today, because Collins Meto changed my mindset and approach, and he made me believe that I could actually achieve whatever I wanted to. And I started actually believing and like having the faith that I would get into an Ivy League institution and study abroad. So when I actually got in, he's one of the first people I called, and I was very, very grateful to him because he guided me all the way. He like helped me when I was low. He believed in me, and this is why I am a mentor here. This is why I came back. I would like to give the same opportunity to the current group of scholars who have a lot of potential but need just somebody to guide them through this college application process. I did this last year, and it made me very happy when some of the mentees who were in my group, like Janice, Linda, got institutions like Vanderbilt and Cornell, which really, really made me proud and fulfilled. And this is why I'm a mentor, and this is why I believe most of the people who are mentors this year do this. It's because we have a passion for like helping other young people. So I had the pleasure of being the head mentor this year alongside Naomi Theuri. We started workshop in June, and we're now in the third week of boot camp. And it's been a success story so far. I would just like all of you to like put our hands together for Naomi Theory and the other mentors who have been very helpful. I believe that the current group of scholars who are being mentored by us will do the same next year. And it's all about passing the same qualities and the same vision and making it a process every single year. And I thank you, Dr. James Mwangi, for providing us such an opportunity and believing in young people of Kenya. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Andrew. And you can tell he connects very well with the other students. They've been in camp for 2 weeks without, this is the first time you're getting an outing, right? Yeah? So yeah, thank you so much to the mentors. And now, without further ado, I'd like to introduce and welcome on stage our Executive Director at the Foundation, Mr. Ruben Bindu, to give remarks and introduce the chairman. Please applaud Ruben.
Good afternoon. Salimieni hewani. Just to make sure that everybody's awake. I don't want to say much. I think I've spoken to the 105. I'm sure I spoke to the others some time back. My message is always the same. Life without a purpose has got no meaning. And that is what I want to say. Life without a purpose has got no meaning. And I think if you take that and go read many books, but one specific book called the Bible, in Proverbs 22, verse 4. All the things you look for is about two things: humility and the fear of the Lord. That's all you need. And it says, are the riches, honor, and life. So if you want good life, be a humble person, fear your God. If you want to be rich, same thing. Be a humble person, fear the Lord. If you want to be honored, now think about what else do people look for. Even the thieves, they want to steal the biggest, so that they can be respected, honored by other people. Sometimes the bad way, sometimes the good way. I want you to choose the right way. That's where the fear of the Lord comes in, to direct us that we do the right things. And with those few remarks, I'd like to wish those who are transitioning, living, a good stay out there. It is easy if you go there with one purpose, to achieve your goal. It is difficult if you go there in the mix to try and discover the world out there. We have been there and we came back. Why? We have a purpose to touch the lives of these people of this country. And I think that is all what should all of us be aiming to come back and be able to. You have been supported through the foundation, but we'd like you to support somebody else through whatever means you can. When you go out there, we need to be ambassadors. Behavior, your character becomes very critical. So please, when you go out there, ensure that you continue portraying the character that we have learned from us, and then we should be able to portray a very good image for yourself first, and then for the country. And that means that we can have more opportunities to have more Kenyans getting to these universities. The reason why sometimes it's so difficult to get visas for some of the countries is because once we're given the opportunities, we abuse those same opportunities by doing things that are not right. And then we make it difficult for the other person. So as you go to those universities, make it easier for the other person coming next year so that you can have bigger numbers. That is your opportunity to create that vacancy, to create that opportunity for somebody else to be able to do better as you're going to do. And for us all, we'll be able to build a better country together. Allow me to stop there and just ask a lady to come and say hi to you in the name of Mary, and then you can invite James to come.
Hi guys, how are you doing? You look good, and I'm so happy to see you all. I want to congratulate you for the achievement so far. It's been tough. I know it's been quite a lot of work put in so far, isn't it? But there's more to be done. And I just want to encourage you. As you go along to the next step, I know you are different stages. As you go to the next level, there's just one thing I would like to remind you, because I'm sure the team that has been with you in the various camps has told you a lot of things. So I don't want to repeat, but just continue to lean in. You know what lean in means? What does it mean? Lean in just simply means be very assertive. And you cannot be assertive unless you know, like Ruben says, what is your purpose? What do you want to achieve? Once you understand what you want to achieve, then you become assertive. And you become a leader. Always insist on being in front, the leader, not the follower. I'm sure you're asking, okay, so if we are all leading, who will follow? But you know, in different circumstances, you have leaders, but you must always take the leadership position. And you can only do that if you are confident and courageous. And you also understand what do you want to focus on. So that's the only thing I would like to remind you at all stages. And remember, life is always like a round table. A round table where people sit and they make decisions. Si unajua vile watu wanakaa kama wanaongea, and sometimes in low tones, so that people who are not within that table will not hear what they are saying. So if you are not in that table, if you are not leaning in, you are not going to hear what is going to be said. So what it means is that the decisions made there are not going to be in accordance with your interests, or your interests may be either forgotten or ignored, whichever the case. So always make sure you are there at that table, leaning in and participating and taking part in whatever decisions are finally made. That is how you take charge, and that is how you make sure that all the resources that are available are allocated and you are able to be part of that process. Otherwise, utakuwa tu uko kwa ferry. Who wants to be in the ferry? I'm sure we don't want to be. I personally, I don't want to be in the ferry myself. I want to be at the table. I want to lean in. So make sure you lean in. Girls, ladies, mmesikia? Don't be on the ferry. Just lean in. Don't agree. So I want to wish you all the best as you go ahead. Those who are traveling, I wish you journey mercies. And we pray that the Lord will guide you, the Lord will protect you. And when you come back, we are going to really celebrate your achievements. Thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you very much. It's really a very bright afternoon. Looking, whichever side I look, as Mele said, very bright faces. I want to take this opportunity, one, to acknowledge our chief guests, the 64 of you that we have come to see off. It's really great to see a contingent of 64 leaving the country in search of knowledge. Once again, let's put our hearts together for the 64. It's really amazing. But I also want, in a very special way, to acknowledge the 32 who has, again, devoted this summer to come and do what we call the Global Summer Mentorship Program, to mentor the next generation, to give back. And I was very, very encouraged when Andrew talked. And so the passion with which now, for a second year, he's giving back because he received. And it was very fulfilling. Is what makes this program not only sustainable, but scalable. I know when we started, the first lot we could only be able to airlift 4. Today we are talking of airlifting 64. Why? Because those who have the latest knowledge and those who have just made it are looking back and just setting the bridge light. And I hope the 64 that we are releasing will interact this afternoon with the 105 who we are preparing for next year, so that the mentorship can continue this time for the whole season. That is literally what networks are all about. It's creating a network of like-minded people who share values, ethos, and aspirations. When I look at this team and believe that 33 are already across, 64 are joining them, that comes to 96. And then I see 105 who I believe will all make it. Then in just 3 years, we have 300 of our own pursuing their dreams, pursuing their aspirations from the greater good. I've been very privileged myself to interact with people who have got very, let me be careful here which word to use, but very enriched education. Recently, I was appointed on the advisory board of the president of IFC, or the private arm of the World Bank. And we are 9 of us. And out of 9 of us, 4 are Nobel laureates in economics. And so, naturally, when we have to do research, they offer to do research. Let me bring on the table practice. We see compare research and practice. It's academia and industry. And I've come to appreciate what good education is all about. And that is why I still serve in Vision 2030 in the belief that now that we have made education fully accessible, we have almost 100% enrollment at primary, 98% transition to secondary, all that remains is to enhance the quality of our education. The institutions that we seem to have been very lucky to send our scholars to are institutions, some of them, like Oxford, Cambridge, Harvard, are 400 plus years old. They have a heritage. They have built a brand and reputation that attracts the best professors on earth, and they have the resources to pay them. But more importantly, they have perfected the art of learning. And consequently, the training in those universities tends to be at a very elevated level. And looking back today and seeing 465 Kenyans having gone through this program of Airlift, I see what a resource we have built for this country. I'll take the numbers and see, for instance, out of the 465, we have had 22 scholars at Harvard, University of British Columbia 13, Yale University 13, Stanford 7, Preston 7, Duke 14, University UPenn 14, MIT 6, Amherst 10, Brown 7, Cornell 15, Dartmouth 8, Michigan 9, Toronto, University of Toronto 15, Edinburgh 5, and we are sending another 5, I guess, this year. University of California, Berkeley 9, Carnegie Mellon 4, African Leadership Academy 12, among others. When I look at those numbers, then I say how much we have enriched this country in terms of knowledge and skill. And I pray God to continue to grant us, those who have been associated with this program, with good health. So 10, 20 years down the road, we'll see what this culmination and convergence of this knowledge back to the country will do for this country. We sent just a couple of students to Carnegie Mellon, 3 of them, I think last year, to Rwanda, last year but 1. And I was shocked when I went to see them last year, the skills and competencies. And amazingly, when they finished, they didn't even bother to come back. They had already started companies at the university. That is the level of skills that this cohort is bound to get. And the impact that it will have in this country is amazing. But that impact will only come if you remain focused, if you remain as a network, so that there will be unity of purpose in transforming our country, transforming the lives and livelihoods of our people. And as Ruben would tell us, and Bishop Karaoke, then we'll be serving a purposeful cause. And we'll be living, as Ruben said, a meaningful, purposeful life. That's the essence of this program. This program is also intended to provide diversity in exposure, experience, and network. While we seek these opportunities of airlifting, a few of us to the best universities on earth, we still believe that local domestic knowledge is very important. So we still have 12,000 of our students, 236 who have gone to our public universities, and they're equally doing well. And Wamoyo is an excellent example that even after going through University of Nairobi, now she's going to France Specialized University of Science. It shows that our universities are still providing quality education and quality knowledge. And all that we are doing is enhancing what we have and giving it more diversity, diversity in exposure, and equally more diversity in networks. That we build a local network and we build a global network, and when time comes, we merge the two. But that time is not years to come. We have just seen it. That 33 of those who went last year and last year but one are back here creating bridges and bringing the knowledge. And the more we have applied more of our scholars in the Grombo Summer internship program or mentorship improvement in our scores. While the number might not have significantly improved, and I think but it has improved by one, from 64 to 64, was it 64 or 65 last year? Or whatever number it was. What we have seen is an improvement in the quality of the universities that we are sending scholars. Whether we say it is our effort, or whether we say is the quality of the Matiagi A's, the outcome is what is important. That we have been able to enhance the quality of the universities that we have been able to send our scholars to. You look at it from a financial perspective, the 465 scholarships have a financial value of 11.13 billion shillings. You will imagine what that means. An additional 11 billion shillings is coming to the economy and providing for the next generation of human resources. I'm a little bit more excited that listening to those who spoke, and I thought it was a random sample, that they were not selected for anything based on where they came from. You could see it's across the country. It appears there is a huge emphasis to add STEM courses. It appears there is a lot of science, technology, and what else? Engineering and mathematics. Whether it is social sciences, like economics and finance, those are also in the mathematical courses. It appears that's the bias. And truly, that is where our universities has been weak. Our universities have been very, very strong in art subjects, but not as equally strong in science subjects. So what I feel that we are really enriching the human capital of this country with this program. I'm glad as I speak to you, all of you have graduated to the majority age. So you can see the perspective of a country. You can carry the responsibility of a country. You are no longer children. And the responsibility of a country is really thinking about others. Where you are, you naturally be successful. You don't need to do much to be successful. But what you really need to see is how to scale that success for success of society and community. Whether you go and do your PhD, like the way Beth did, she went for her master's at Yale, then went to Canada, did her PhD, and then came back. If you come back, you can imagine if we have 465 PhD lecturers in our universities, how quickly we could change our education system. So there's a lot that we can do for this country. Vision 2030 today we were going through with the editors of print and electronic media. And we were all shocked how much we have achieved. But we now need to consolidate these and make it a way of life by having the human capital also enriched. So I'm very, very privileged to see a cohort of 64 living in 1 year to join those who are there for 65 and bring back this knowledge. As you go, we seek to just request that you go not just to learn, but to create lifelong networks of friends, of associates, and comrades. For those networks, you find later in life that they will only be a call away and you get the global support that you need. In you, we don't see 64. We see a Kenyan generation. We see a Kenyan society because you can scale yourself and change the lives of our people. Exploit the extraordinary opportunities in the countries that you are headed to, in the institutions that you are headed to. Make the best of those institutions and opportunities. And as Mary said, lean in. Don't be at the periphery. Just hear without understanding. Seek to understand. And as you understand, make the best out of that in transforming yourself. Because it's only after transforming yourself that you can then eventually be an agent of socioeconomic transformation of our country. Because that is what we really need to be. Agents of change, positive change that make our world better. Who make a worthy contribution that then we can look back and say, when we were given the opportunity, we did all that we could to make the world a better. Oh, very good. Why don't we finish? To do what? Wow! Let's clap for ourselves. Absolutely. I didn't know it has become a doctrine. A little doctrine of empowerment of our people. That will be a worthy cause. I look back the 28 years that I have served this institution, and from 27,000 customers, see now 12.5 million customers. From a balance sheet of 22 million shillings, see a balance sheet of 550 billion shillings. And I feel really fulfilled. From 17 members of staff to Ruben, the latest 9,000 members of staff, I feel, yeah, I spent the 28 years in a purposeful way. And I feel there is nothing I could have done that I didn't do. And that which I didn't do, I planted a seed of greatness in a younger generation and almost cloned myself in 465, who I believe will take that scale to a different level. If we could say, those of us in leadership of equity, and turn it the way equity was turned aloud, you could imagine how Kenya would look like. Can you imagine if you turned the ministries? They are only 18. So you can have the principal secretary, the what? The cabinet secretary, the directors, and everybody else, and leave a lot for the private sector. so that it can support. That is all that we're asking for. That we have a common objective, a common purpose, that when we come back, we come to fulfill. And truly, there is no way transformation can escape you. You are a critical mass of transformational leaders. So if you start as we saw with my friend starting at Massabit, yeah, why don't you come and own it from here? What do you say is the single greatest transformation
didn't make like the first in my Form 1. So I went home after first term and I cried. Mr. Kinyua, he's a Marsabit branch, and then there was one more space. So, and then I was finally taken. Then, since then, I have discovered so many things. I think I've grown not only personally, I've also tried like to uplift others. And yeah, I'm just grateful for all the opportunities.
No, it's all about opportunities. He got an opportunity, but he simulated. He simulated. And in the process, transformed himself from the shy, not very confident young man, quickly transformed to a very polished gentleman. And you can see, elegant gentleman. And the doors opened. How much do you think South Africa contributed to who you have become? And why?
I just raised my hand. I was like, let me give vote of thanks. And Mwalim Kibiru, he's like, okay, Dokata, give vote of thanks. He don't know my name, of course. But then after giving the vote of thanks, and he said, so whoever gave vote of thanks, you can come and have a chat with the speaker. I went to have a chat, and he told me about ALE and all that. So that's how I applied to ALE, and then went there. So going to ALE, it's really vigorous, and the curriculum is quite unique. You are It's vivid. You can see in me, and anyone who wants to apply to ALE or even any other school, I'll be there like to support, and I'll be there for you guys there.
A guy can only do offer. Giving back, giving back, giving back. Thank you. Let's put our hands together for Dhaka. So it's a question of real giving back. But essentially, it's the challenge that confronts you. When you go to any of these universities that you have been admitted, you are going to meet the best of the best. That's the starting point. You were very good. Number 1 in late 10. And maybe within number 100 in the country. But you go and meet number 1 in China. Number 1 in China is not 1 out of 40 million. It's 1 out of 1.4 billion. It's that refined level. And then you will also meet number 1 from India. He's not also number 1 out of 40. He's number 1 out of 1.2 billion. That's the starting point. So as you go, is enhanced by the challenge that confronts you. But that's what happened to Beth. She went to Yale, but you can see from Yale was quickly given a scholarship. So it's a question of preparedness. But don't allow it to sleep. Year 1. Let's start from first year. Let's get it right from first year. But let me say it's real hard work. But that's what you have learned. You have made it, or you have made the cutoff simply because you worked hard. You have worked very, very hard. So camp, you can see the excitement once you made it. And I'm sure you heard from Andrew. Was it Andrew or Collins? When he got that call that came late. But the call that I would really like to really reflect is not that of a Wings to a ELP program. That is a very important call. But the most interesting call is the email that comes at around 3 o'clock in the morning. How many received the email at around 3? Oh, all of you. How did it feel? That email is very important. So for those who are studying, that is the most important thing. But it is you who causes the email to be sent to you. So the question is, for the next 4 months, I think it's 4 months, early decision, we shall be submitting you, is it in October? Early decision, November, October? November. And then regular decision in December. We have only 4 months. I understand you have been asking for an additional 1 week. But in 4 months, what is one additional week? 4 months have how many weeks? 16. So one additional week out of 16 doesn't make a difference. Learn to wake up at 3 religiously, the way you have been waking up at the boot camp. Maintain the contacts of the 64 and bother them as much as you can. And if none of them responds, you all know my phone number. Bother me. I will read the essay. Certainly I will read the essay. So we can try it. What am I saying? We'll give you all the support you need so that from 64, next year we're celebrating how much? 105. I like the faith. You were really sifted. The sifting this year was very good. The A's we have are exceptional. And we believe they will get admitted. But it will require a lot of hard work. I want to apologize to you that I was not able to join you yesterday. But I was in this room up to 5:30 dialoguing with 19 professors from Wharton Business School, UPenn. And I hope out of that, UPenn will not take 2 next year, but hopefully will give you 6. That's the discussion we were having. I want to thank Beth. She has been able to do. We now have an agreement with Wharton Business School, Harvard, and Oxford, and we'll continue to visit each of these universities and seek bilateral agreements to see whether we can increase the opportunities for you. But they keep on assuring us that your students must do well in the SATs, and the essays must be the best that we could. So I want once again to appeal to you to do your very, very, very best and see to it that we are able to make the cutoff that will be required. For us at Equity Bank, we'll continue to support you. If there's anything more that we can do, we'll do to make it happen. When you do things right, things tend to almost become natural in happening. Do things right, and that will be the nature of your life, that always good things will happen. I want to invite my colleague directors here of ensuring that these youngsters are able to get to the airport on the date they are expected by ensuring they have a ticket and, if possible, a few dollars or sterling pounds or South African lads. And in France is what? Euro. A few euros. So as we agreed, for those who are flying out of the continent, we'll give you a check of 200,000 shillings so that you could change that in foreign currency. James Motuko is here. Please don't charge any commissions. It's staff rate. So it is a spot rate. So it is not the usual. Don't go and exchange elsewhere because we'll give you spot rate. Spot rate doesn't have those margins of buying and selling. So the distinctive, unique competence. Very good. Beth, give him the first 5. Julius, you're giving them from here. Grace Ricarda. Thank you. Next is John Faye Sassi. Followed by Aya Obilo. And sorry, I should have been leading. We should be celebrating where they are headed to, because I have seen it. So, Grace Obilo is headed to Harvard University. Yeah. Grace is headed to? Edinburgh. Is it? Edinburgh. Edinburgh. Very good. And the last one? The first one is headed to? Northwestern University. Now we have Joy Selel headed to, China. Shagai Tom University. Thank you. Then we have Getahi Jeff Minor headed to Dartmouth University. See, for giving back, you can see the appreciation. Followed by Jude Delos Wamoyo, we had headed to Sciences Pro University, France. Thank you very much. Yes. Gerald. Start with Daniel Goria, headed to University of Massachusetts, UK. Thank you. Followed by Mumasi Benjamin. Why are these gentlemen so popular? Oh, okay. Okay. He's headed to Columbia University. Followed by Mohammed, who is headed to Mais University in Turkey. Thank you. Followed by Esther and Zhao, headed to Aseshi University. Oh, very good. Yeah. Congratulations. Followed by Palit Jackson Tupana, headed to Cornell University. That is very well. And Gerald, your last one is to Linda Wajilo, headed also to Cornell University. Wow. You my daughter. It's a great school. Very good. Thank you very much, Gerard. And then we have Motuko James. And Dohyo Ian Derry, headed to Hamilton College. Very good. Congratulations. Next one is June Nyaga. Good. Sorry, June is headed to Ebakan University, Turkey. Douglas Geshohi Maina, headed to Duke University. And followed by Diana Waboi Chogona, headed to Ard University. Well spoken. Followed by Kimugo Kala. He's not in. Very good. Followed by John Timothy Baga. Hey, It's Ngongi. Oh, very good. Very good. Thank you very much, James. Thank you. And Mary, maybe you could come and give a few. And we start with Veronica Wairimu Muriga, headed to MIT. Not in. Then we can go to Wainaina Grace Wajiko, Northwest University. The next one is Kenneth Kiprotich, Columbia University. Excellent. Followed by Purity Kamude Budi, headed to Cardiff College. Very good. Thank you. Congratulations. Followed by Joyce Chamngeno Bodwin College. She's not in. Followed by Kelvin Gure, Penn University. Why are men more popular? Huh? Oh, the stories. Okay, so everybody who gets that popular colors is a storyteller. Okay, very good. So let's see. Stephen Jombe, MIT. Oh, you're being told to be a better storyteller. Thank you. Then we go to Lonnie Kihonge, who is headed to Preston University. He's not there. Then we go to Collins Kiprotich, Cornell University. Very good. A good storyteller. Very good. Followed by Collins Kibet, Kobe College. Wow. Followed by Phoebe Kemei Lowe, Brown University. Not in. Followed by Fabian Francis, Midbury College. Not in. Leslie Keboi, Smith College. Gosh. Valentine Getute, Wairongo, University of British Columbia. Thank you. Followed by Breda Kageni, University of Edinburgh. Very good. Congratulations. Edinburgh. Thank you very much, Ruben. Matano Mohammed Talengo, again headed to Yalova in Turkey. Very good. Then we have Kazadra. Then we have Balizi Liz Mwendwa. Then Edwin Yongesa. Then Lydia Akinyi. Yeah, very good. Bishop. Helen Awol Okello, African Leadership University. Adiabo Moses Ojuang, added to Mauritius University. Pase Chalang, Azakare Lia Dongo, National Institute of Technology, India. Ferista Kemunto Obasi, UWC. Very good. Very fun. Thank you very much, Bishop. Moshiri. And we can start with Gideon Kipruto Lono. Kipruto Lono. And Juliet Mudeu Otieno, University of British Columbia. Just an appreciation, gesture of appreciation of the great work you are doing. Once again, go there, be great Kenyan ambassadors. Remember constantly what you have gone to do, achieve what you have gone out to do, come back and cause the transformation that we have been waiting for. Once again, thank you very much for this great opportunity to represent and sacrifice for you to represent our country. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Mwangi. I must say that some of our scholars start their internship, or rather their orientation programs a bit earlier, so some of them have already left, but you can be sure that they will all get their air ticket, and we'll definitely have the letters for the ones who did not get to receive them. So I would like to introduce Gabriel to come and give a vote of thanks on behalf of the group. Thank you.
All protocol observed. Good afternoon. So I came from a very African family, a family where you had to say thank you. Even after being disciplined, you still had to say thank you. And therefore, it would be very difficult if we would just leave without showing how much we appreciate the work that Equity Bank is doing here. So at times like these, the words thank you are not necessarily enough to express the gratitude that we have. And therefore, I decided to kind of like express our thank you in a different way. I want to tell you about something known as the chaos theory. So the chaos theory is basically a mathematical theory that tries to explain random astronomical events and try to explain why they happen. And within the theory, there's a section called the butterfly effect. The butterfly effect states that when a butterfly flaps its wing in one place, it can simply create a hurricane in another place. And I stand here, I look around the room, and I see the effect of that. I see a well-oiled machine that will constantly produce the next generation of leaders that will come and resolve the issues that we have in Africa. And for that, I appreciate. For that, I'd like to say thank you on behalf of the scholars to, first of all, our CEO for making this chain of reactions possible by being Equity Group Foundation. Thank you for organizing and running the Equity Leaders Program. It is something that has been growing over the years, and the growth and the scalability in the program is something we appreciate. We are now able to see more scholars going abroad, and we hope that that will influence the change that we hope to see. For the mentors, we are all here because of a mentor or another. And to the mentors who give back, I would like to say thank you to you. And also to the bootcamp attendees, when you get that admission letter, which I know you will, make sure you remember to give back. Make sure that the next class that will follow you, make sure you're there to mentor them and lead them. And also just take a moment before the session ends to just appreciate the mentors and the work they do. Just say a thank you. Also to each and every scholar, thank you for being here. Thank you all for taking your time out of your very busy schedules and actually allowing this event to be really successful. Thank you. Gabriel Owino Hoa, I'll be going to the University of Edinburgh. I'm going to do artificial intelligence and software engineering. Thank you.
he's being offered a job in advance. Because we really need AI people, artificial intelligence. And you can see he's already teaching us about chaos theory. So, yeah, thank you. Okay, now we are going to have a photo session, but before that, we will have a benediction and a dedication by Bishop for these butterflies who are going out to the world to create a hurricane. So, Bishop, this is your moment. Thank you.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Beth. And I think the 64, or those who are representing, who are in, I would humbly request that you stand and come to the front as we dedicate you with the blessings. Yeah, just stand as you face them. You're going to represent them. You ready? Okay. Okay then, shall we pray? Our Heavenly Father, we want to thank you this afternoon and bless you from the bottom of our hearts for your marvelous doing. As we commend the scholars standing here to you, O God, as they fly to global universities, representing this nation and our society, we want to pray that your hand shall forever be upon them. They're going to experience new culture, climate, and things that are different from what they're used to. How we pray, the Lord, you'll see them through, that even if there will be challenging moments because of the change of location, the change of where they have been used, by your grace and your power, they are going to excel and prosper. For I pray, the Lord God, they are not going there to be the last, but they are going there as leaders, and they will lead in each and every university that they are going to. And now I commit them to you and to your word of grace, which is able to keep them, guide them, and even to give them heights of achievement for the glory of your name. For this we pray in Jesus Christ our Lord. Amen. Thank you.
So we shall request that we give them space to walk down the staircase. Kindly start towards the staircase, up to the front of the entrance to Equity Center, all of you, so that we can move faster. And then after that, they will be followed by our team leader and the executive, so that we can go for a photo session downstairs. And then after that, the scholars, you'll be given instructions on how to proceed from here.